And then during the outtakes, there's a scene where Rick is sitting there wearing these headsets. You see these guys at the airport, you know, with these headsets. Explain to the audience here what the headsets are.
We're going to give you a very Spark Notes version of it. Rick had an incident at his house on the farm where he had groundhog problems, and the groundhogs were tearing up his house all the time. God bless him. He went out there with his handgun to take care of the groundhog problem. He hasn't fired the handgun in like 10 years. And he shot the groundhog. I don't know whether he hit or not. I believe he did. And he shot the groundhog. And it was so loud that his ears were ringing. And he said he had tinnitus forever. And it drove him mad. It drove him mad.
He said he had a jet engine running in his ear. It sounded like a jet engine in his ear. So he wore the things. When we were flying Nitro, he'd have to wear it. If he was flying electric, he wouldn't wear it. So you'll notice those on those episodes. And in future episodes, the music wasn't turned up loud because of him to do that. Yeah.
But anyway, that's... Poor guy.
So it was a good time, so let's roll it. Highlights of number 6.
Number 6.
Hello, I'm Rick. And I was wondering, are you afraid to fly in front of crowds?
Try to ignore the audience. Try to ignore the people behind you. I know it's easier said than done, but you can walk out there, make sure your equipment is good, make sure you're flying a routine that you're 100% comfortable with, and ignore everybody else and just do it for your own self. What's the worst that can happen?
Crash.
Crash, okay. So what? Everybody does that,
right?
Right?
It's no big deal.
Have you crashed before?
Yeah, I've crashed before.
Do you get nervous when you fly in front of people?
Well, the biggest problem I have with nerves is getting the voices out of my head to quiet down enough so that I can concentrate on flying.
As we do that, I wanted to go into something technical, so I'm using a song called "A Place Where You Belong," where it's just a nice guitar solo. I'm going to do some nice technical things here. And the goal is to pull out as low as can. And do some smack to the beat. Boom. Do some nice smack here, again.
Should be fun.
We're keeping it old school with the Nitro flybar.
Nitro flybar.
Nitro flybar.
That's the way to go, old school style.
We'll see with some heavy rock.
Heavy rock.
Heavy rock, and we're going to headbang and drink Red Bull, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah, so stay tuned. Alright. Keep that bitch controlled. Make it look smooth and hot, though. Yeah. Para.
Alright, do this shit, dude. Do it. Yeah. Dude, hit this shit. Hit this shit. Go now. Nice. Nice, dude. Put that shit on the deck. On the deck, dude. Tail down. Hit that shit. For camera style. Lower. You got it. Nice, dude. Nice. That's it. All right, your big pair of loops are coming up, dude. Your big pair of loops. So back in the day, I took your class.
Yeah.
You helped.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good, yeah.
You taught me how to teach myself how to learn.
Well, maybe we could reverse that now and you could teach me.
He has the club. Rick, what's the club for?
Uh-huh.
What's
protection.
the club for?
It's protection in case you get in a bad neighborhood or something, man.
What do you think of SmackTalk?
I like it.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
How many episodes have you bought?
What? Don't get me with the things all bad. Now, come on.
Rick, weird guy. All right, let's talk about number 7. Number 7, we decided to do maintenance tips and tricks.
Yep.
And you bitch about driving 8 hours to Florida. Well, guess what? I drove
back up to Maryland again.
Jesus Christ. Actually, I drove to Maryland, which is like from Palm Beach, Florida, 16 hours, and up from there to Delaware, another couple hours.
Yep.
And we went to the HOD, Helly's over Delaware Fun Fly, and we did maintenance tips and tricks.
Yep.
And that was an interesting episode.
A lot in there. There was a lot in there.
We had a major screw up here. This is actually our first real screw up.
It was bad.
I made a mistake and I uploaded the wrong version of the episode. We had a couple of different versions because we made a couple of mistakes. We had some camera issues when we were there with the audio more than anything.
So I had to redo some takes, and Bobby did the same, and I uploaded the wrong version. We caught it within, I don't know, 48 hours. So we let everybody know. People were still pissed. People were a little upset.
Which is cool because they're passionate about it.
Yeah, and they're paying for it, so they deserve a good product. So we uploaded the new episode. We made corrections. We notify everybody. Hopefully, everybody downloaded the right episode. Yeah. If you guys don't have it and you bought it, just simply log in. It's there. You can download the updated version. Yep. So we had some interesting building tips that you showed people. Yeah. Then we had. There was actually the folding blade pitch measuring tip. And our friend Mark Fately actually contacted me soon after we released the episode. And he did this I helped him do this big write-up about SmackTalk on the AMA magazine. Yeah, that's cool. And those tips are there, so including that blade folding tip. See what else. We had, for the first time, the segment called Learning the Ways with Rick.
Yeah, Rick was over.
How did it come up?
Rick was over. I mean, I'm up at all hours of the night wrenching anyway, and might as well have that guy over for entertainment. I mean, it's something to do. So he came over, and I'm like, dude, you have all these weird things. You just need to do a segment. Let's call it Learning the Ways, because he says it all the time. So it's like, all right, let's think of a topic. And he's like, oh, we're going to go to a fun fly. Let's talk about Delaware. All right, so hit the camera, let it roll. Dude, you got 3 minutes, do it. And just original, like, if you were to design a TV show, you'd make it, like, that's the guy you try to script about. You can't make that up. Yeah. You can't make it up. So he did his thing. It was awesome. We went to Delaware. Dude, remember, it was like 110 degrees and just full humidity. Yeah, it was so hot there. We're sweating. We're there at night. There's bugs everywhere. I'm like zapping you with a fly swatter. Art's flying in the background. The next flight after we do our closing, he destroys the Stratus, just smokes it in.
That's when you slapped me with that thing because I had a bug on me.
The bug was that big. It was huge. It was huge.
And then the outtakes include that famous noodle guitar playing by Rick.
Yeah.
Dude, that was, I laughed so hard.
I couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah, it was the funniest shit. I was like,
God, that was so
good
funny.
Stuff. And there's Keith from Hood Hellies. Explain.
Hood Hellies is a club in downtown Baltimore, Maryland. Baltimore's known as like a rough city. It's pretty rough. And I've actually been to Hood Hellies before. They fly near a local elementary school. And there's 2 objects to hit. There's the elementary school to hit, and there's a big light pole to hit. And you stand, when you fly, the elementary school and the flagpole are behind you. And when I went there, I was shown a nice gash in the brick. Oh, sorry, I was doing a tail-down funnel and I lost it and I smacked into the brick. Nice. So these guys are asking me for parts because they keep running their stuff into elementary schools. Nice. Nonetheless, very funny. It's the first time we
get to bleep the N-word.
The N-word ever. That was an achievement. Yeah, that was an achievement. Now, we're SmackTalk. We're a diverse people. Yeah. Season 2, we will go to Hood Hellies. We have to. Yeah. SmackTalk, we'll make it happen. I told him we would, so we got to go. And then that was about it.
That's about it for number 7.
Episode 7 had some good stuff, so here we go. Yep. Best of number 7. So I always just take it apart and make sure there's Loctite on there, and then I tighten everything back up, because you don't want to, make the assumption that the factory made everything, they Loctited it perfectly and tightened it to the correct tightness.
If you're in question as to whether you're right at 0 pitch at half stick, what you do is you fold your blades. First you go to half stick, then you fold your blades very carefully, and as you can hear, the servos are not liking this, but I'm just being very careful not to put any pressure. And then very smoothly you move your stick up and down until the 2 blades align each other up. There we go. And see, my stick is perfectly at half stick right now. If it's off, then what you do is you adjust your 2 lengths, of course, and then you keep adjusting until the 2 blades are exactly parallel to each other. And again, that tells you where your 0 pitch is. You look at your radio. If you're a half stick, you're right on.
Lights. When going to the fun fly, we need to consider different things. We need to consider what helicopters we're going to take, how much cash we're going to lose when something goes in, and basically just how big of a smart aleck jackass you want to try to be out there on the flight line with your machine. Because remember, you're going to see people that are really tricked, and you're going to think to yourself, you're going to be like, damn, Like, those guys are really trick. I bet I can do that. And then you're going to crash. You're going to crash hard. And it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you a lot. But you got to remember, even though it cost you a lot and you crashed hard, you were tricked for that split second. For that $900 or $1,000, maybe even $2,000 or more, you were the best. And you got everybody's attention. They all looked because you really crashed hard.
We'll definitely have at least a 1 hour IRCHA episode, possibly 2.
Okay.
And then for the following month, which would be episode number 9, we're going to do a night flying.
Are we?
Night flying episode. Yeah. Get that away from me. So,
the buzz is on you. All right, guitar solo. Oh my God.
Yeah, hood heli, nigga, you know.
Hood heli.
Hood heli, yeah, you know how, because, you know, when you come down and fly in the hood, you know, you not scrap up. You know what I mean? But we got your back, though.
Yeah.
We need y'all two to come down there and check us out.
So hood helis, I mean, it's a safe place in the hood.
Come on now. I mean, it's in the, just because it's in the hood, that don't mean it's not safe. Plus, you got me with you, so you be all right. I got you. Just tell them you know Keith.
All right, how about this? We'll bring SmackTalk to hood helis.
Oh, come on. What? Come on. It'll be on. Yeah, come on. Yeah, you know, come on. Now, you know, the whole America want to know where I be. You know what I mean? Hood heli, Harford Road. That's what's up. Me and my man Bobby. Bert behind the camera. We can't see him, but y'all come on down.
Funny dude.
to say the least.
Funny dude.
Number 8. Number 8 was about IRCHA. And, you know, I was never happy about this episode, honestly.
There's a lot going on.
I think we actually got pretty decent footage, and we sort of got the point across, but the original idea that we had in mind never happened. And we're more realistic now. We know when we go to a fun fly, we're not going to have time to shoot video.
We need people to shoot us all the time because we didn't have time to shoot it.
So
we're so busy.
We'd rather just come to my place or go to his place or whatever and go to a field and just get it done. But anyway, moving on.
We installed some good stuff. It ended up pretty good. It ended up all right.
Moving on, IRCHA, like I said, not the greatest episode in terms of how long it was or how in-depth it was. But I think we got the point across. We showed some vendors. Experience RC was impressive. Walked in there, talked to Chris Walton.
That was huge.
Walked around there. What else? Oh, and the Edge rotor blades power hour.
That was fun.
When they were giving free sets of blades and
a dance competition.
Dance competition. And Rick, nonetheless, is the guy that wins it. And this is just another
every time you see him, just doing his thing, you know.
Yeah, he's doing his thing. So we're gonna show a little clip of that.
Yeah.
We saw a bunch of stuff. That pimped out golf cart.
That was cool.
That?
Yeah, that guy was cool. Yeah, that was cool.
And then we have talk about Rick again. Obviously, we had the learning the way segment, which was the most depressing. You almost wanted to commit suicide after listening to that.
I was sad.
I had to edit that thing.
It was 2 takes. Yeah. One was a really sad take, and then one was too happy. I was like,
but the happy take, I wanted to use it, but the audio wasn't great. Wasn't good. So I had to use the depressing take, and I had to get rid of parts that were even more depressing. But I still laughed. I thought
the more you know him, the more it's just funny. Like that's just the way the guy acts. So.
And then the one competition, which congrats on that, by the way.
Thanks, dude.
And your commentary, that was pretty cool. I've actually heard comments from people that say, "Oh, it was really cool to know what was, going through Bobby's head when he planned for that and while he was flying."
That was cool.
Again, thanks to Mark Ryder for the footage on that. We were able to dub it like we did at XFC. And Bobby was able to comment on his flight. And
we just winged that one. Just went out there and just had fun with it. And then we never said the outcome. Like, the outcome ended up, and they're like, oh, you and Rick. I mean, Rick and I kind of won it together. And then they're like, all right, here's the money. So we just gave it all back and gave it to the MS Society.
Which was a great gesture,
which was cool. So that was really awesome to do.
What does it feel like for a poor kid like you to give away
$7,000? C'est la vie, my friend.
Why did you do it?
Karma.
Karma?
I needed some karma.
I got some karma coming my way, I think.
Good stuff.
Do you think so? Do you have karma coming your way?
No, not
hey,
at all.
You're screwed.
No.
Sweet.
Stay away from that. No.
You're screwed.
No.
All right.
So let's roll number 8.
Let's do it.